everyone, my name's Gabby. I'm one of the nurse practitioners here at Joy Wellness Partners and Enliven Aesthetics. I've been with JWP for about 9 months, but I've been in the aesthetics industry for about 5. And I am super excited to talk about one of my most favorite skin rejuvenation treatments, and that's going to be the vampire facial. So if you've ever wondered how to get that like skin glow, or you've been looking for a natural way to boost up collagen or improve skin texture, this one's going to be for you. Um, like I said, it's one of my favorite regenerative treatments because it's using your body's own natural healing properties. Many people will come saying that they're seeing fine lines on their face in photos or your makeup's just not sitting right. Everyone wants that skin that feels fresh, radiant, and youthful. And for many of us, we want results that look natural and not overdone. And this is where the vampire facial comes into play. What the vampire facial is it's combining two powerhouse therapies. That's going to be microneedling and PRP, which is platelet-rich plasma. Um, it uses your body's own healing power through the platelet-rich plasma and combines it with microneedling to stimulate that collagen production. And so you can see many of the benefits of it here. You get that there is the skin quality improvements where you get that brightening, that more radiant skin glow. It can work on skin texture and pore size as well. Evens out skin tone. So anybody that notices that dull texture or dull tone or crepiness to the skin, and um, any sort of pigmentation as well, whether that's like redness or hyperpigmentation. And then also scar reduction. So it can be used on various body parts if you do have, any sort of post-surgical scarring or acne scarring on the skin as well. And then it has many of those anti-aging benefits that you see on the right side. So stimulating more collagen production, more elastin production, softening of those fine lines and wrinkles. And then there's other benefits of it as well. So when you're improving that skin texture, you can also have better absorption of all of your skincare products. The natural gradual results is a very big one. Like I said, we all want things to do to our skin, but we don't want to look like anything's overdone. A lot of my clients come in and they say, hey, I want something, but I want people to look at me and think, oh, you got your hair done, or something's different, but I can't really pinpoint what exactly it is. And a lot of times the vampire facial is that perfect therapy to get those kinds of results. Um, People ask, like, what are the benefits of collagen? Collagen is so important because it's the root cause of a lot of our skin aging. And we've been losing collagen since the day that we turned 20. And so this is going to be one of those collagen induction therapies to boost that up naturally. Typically, people will notice a glow within the first few days after the treatment, but the results do keep coming for weeks as that new collagen is forming. And you can do this on the face, the neck area, the chest if you have crepiness there, or other body parts as well if you're noticing scarring or any pigment issues anywhere. So we'll kind of dive into the benefits of microneedling and PRP separately. The microneedling works by creating thousands of precise microchannels in the skin, what we call micro injuries. The depth of the needles will vary depending on, the specific area that we're treating, thickness of the tissue in that area, and it's going to be individualized for every person. And so that's why you definitely want to go to a facility that has experience with microneedling, because these micro injuries aren't necessarily harmful. They're there to trigger your natural or your skin's natural healing response, without causing, any undue damage to the rest of the skin. And the healing process itself occurs in 3 different stages. In the first 24 to 48 hours, it's that inflammation phase where all of your platelets rush to the face, the neck, the chest, wherever you got that, wherever you had that micro injury, and they release a lot of those growth factors that are going to signal repair. The proliferation phase is the several days after that, and that's where fibroblasts are activated. These fibroblasts are what produce collagen, elastin, and new capillaries to the skin too. So the new capillaries are essentially like new blood vessels, and that will improve circulation to the skin and improve glow as well. And then the remodeling phase is why we always say that, you're gonna notice results for weeks to months afterwards. That's because that's when that new collagen is maturing and strengthening, and that's what's gonna lead to like firmer, healthier looking skin. And so you can see in this visual, you have these broken down, disorganized collagen, and that microneedling is helping strengthen and remodel that collagen. Now, we add PRP to this process to just supercharge that growth signaling, which means you get more collagen production, you get faster recovery, and better results. So, the way that I think of microneedling and PRP together is you've created these little microchannels into the skin. So, think about like aerating a lawn. So, you create those channels and then you pour PRP, which is kind of like a fertilizer. So the collagen and elastin production just skyrockets through that because we create those little channels and then we deliver PRP so it gets deeper into the skin right where it's needed the most over that treatment area. Um, PRP, which is your own platelet-rich plasma. So, we do the blood draw, we spin it in the centrifuge, we extract the plasma from it or the PRP from it, and that is full of growth factors. That's going to tell your fibroblasts, which are the collagen producers, to produce more collagen, produce more elastin, and increase that circulation to the skin as well. So when you combine these two therapies together, like I said, that means you're going to have faster skin healing after the microneedling, and you're going to get better long-term results with that too because you've enhanced that collagen production with the growth factors. So we've talked a lot about what microneedling and PRP does, but let's look at what this can realistically look like with a before and after here. So for this client here, I want to point out that this was after just one session and it was 3 weeks after the initial session. So we're noticing some of the glow, but we're not even to the point where we're noticing all of the collagen benefits that are going to happen, months down the road. When you're looking at this, you can notice the reduction in redness all in this area here. So the left are two befores and the rights are the two afters. You can see the decrease in pigment as well, all in this area over here, some of the pigment up here versus on this side here. One of the other things is the pore size. So if you look in the middle of the cheeks here, you can see that dramatic reduction in pore size already. And then if you take a closer look around the eyes here, you can notice that some of those fine lines have already started to improve, which is amazing because this was 3 weeks after just one session of the vampire facial. And then I think one of the biggest things that you notice is just that glow afterwards. You can notice changes in texture and where the light is hitting her cheek, you can definitely see that glow. Now, we typically recommend starting with a series of 3 treatments, and this was just after her one session. So what can you expect when you actually come in for the treatments? Typically the treatment takes about an hour, and thanks to some really good numbing cream, it's very tolerable for our clients. So you come in, we apply numbing cream to all of the treatment areas, whether that's face, neck, chest, or a body part. And while you numb, we do that quick blood draw, take your blood, spin it in our centrifuge, and that's where we separate some of the red blood cells from the PRP, which is that liquid gold that we're using to get all of those growth factors. After the numbing, we take all of that off, we microneedle the skin, or we microneedle the PRP actually into the skin like we talked about. And you may feel like a sunburn sensation for the first 24 to 48 hours, and maybe a little bit of swelling like around the eyes, depending on, how aggressive we get to that area. But like I said, it's a pretty quick 1 hour treatment. The microneedling portion of itself takes less than 20 minutes on average. Usually it's the numbing, the blood draw, the setup, and all of that that takes a good portion of that hour-long appointment. So you notice a glow within the first few days after the treatment, and then that collagen remodeling impact for months on after that. We chat a little bit about post-care here. So in the first 24 hours, we typically say, avoid makeup and sunscreen. You have all of those little microchannels, and so we also don't want any risk of infection. So, no exercise, saunas, hot tubs, anything dirty on the skin in those first 24 hours. That also comes with like avoiding touching the skin, anything that can, cause any risk of infection there. Um, the first few days is where you want to be very gentle with the skin. So we just advise using like a mild cleanser. Don't use any harsh active ingredients on the skin. And sun protection is a big one. So we typically recommend a mineral sunscreen because that skin is vulnerable during that time. And especially if you're, depending on like what type of skin type you are, we just don't want any risk of hyperpigmentation. And so we typically do recommend sun protection. And then other things, stay well hydrated. That's going to help with collagen production as well. And avoid any harsh exfoliants for about a week. That's also like physically exfoliating the skin as well. You might have some of that dryness, flaky, peeling skin, and just let your body heal naturally. There's no need to be picking at any of that. And then it also mentions makeup. You can start wearing it after the 24-hour mark. I personally like to wait a full 48 hours just to allow all of those microchannels to close. But you can start wearing it. So people ask like how long, until I get back to my normal activities within the after the first 24 hours. And then you've probably heard me mention needing those 3 sessions. So typically we recommend the 3 treatments approximately 4 to 6 weeks apart. And that's going to vary. But for the vast majority, that's, our typical vampire facial protocol. But we always say come in for a consult with one of us and we can take a look at the skin, chat a little bit more about it, and always come up with a customized treatment for you. And then maintenance from there is typically just once or twice a year for the majority of the population. Now, it's not for everyone, right? You can't be, we don't recommend the vampire facial if you're pregnant or breastfeeding or anyone that has any active infection in the area. But anyone that wants to be proactive with their skin, wants to address fine lines or wrinkles, acne, scars or any other scarring on the body, dullness of the skin, or even just anyone with aging skin, this can be a great choice for the majority of our clients. One of the big things that we really focus on here at Enliven Aesthetics is exclusive regenerative therapies, right? So the vampire facial is great. We have many clients that want more of a personalized treatment. They want additional like adjunct therapies with the PRP. And so there's many things that we can do. Some of my personal favorites are adding Exo Plus to the treatment as well, whether that's injected or applied topically. That's just giving you more growth factors, helping boost up that collagen production. I do like direct injections of the PRP as well. So if someone's coming in with under eyes being a big concern, I like to inject some of that PRP directly under the eyes after we've done that vampire facial on top of it. And then Sculptra. Sculptra is a collagen biostimulator, so you're just further enhancing those collagen boosting benefits. Like I said, there's many different therapies that we can do when it comes to the skin, and the vampire facials, one of our favorites. We can layer things on, but always come in for a consultation because that's where we can really make this plan according to, what your goals are and what your baseline skin looks like. And then we always recommend following us on our social media, be a part of our email promotion list because we have exclusive offers that are always going for our aesthetic treatments, and the vampire facial specifically will have a little something for Halloween time. So definitely be on the lookout for those and make sure you're subscribing to all of those pages. And that is the end of the presentation. Does anyone have any questions about the presentation? Okay, if we do see any questions pop up, or you do think of any questions later on, always feel free to reach out, whether that's through our social media or texting us directly. And then we can always set up a consultation for you to come in and just chat with one of us providers. Okay, thank you.
Thanks for joining us at Enliven Aesthetics. I'm Carol Joy Bender, the founder, and I'm really eager to know if you liked that video, so give us a thumbs up. You can click links in the descriptions below to learn more about our services, and subscribe to our channel so you can watch more videos of content like this. Thanks so much for being a part of our community. Give us some feedback in the comments below so we can improve and get you more content of what you'd like to watch. We're here for you to enhance natural beauty from the inside out, so keep shining bright.